Astrid and Frida pushed back their seats and stood up. Picking up their trays, they pushed back in their seats. Keep us updated when you go back through the portal. Astrid smiled at the two girls. Frida nodded. Also, make sure you pay attention to where you are on that side. What do you mean? Claire raised an eyebrow in confusion at Frida's words. I don't know much at this point, but there have been whispers about things not being as safe as it seems. Getting eaten by monsters isn't the only thing you need to watch out for when you go through the portal and into the simulation. Frida lowered her brows and spoke softly so only their table could hear. When I know more, I'll send you a message through the wire. Even though we just met, we are both greatly appreciative of you being willing to look out for us, Hannah said in a grateful voice. It means a lot, you extending your friendship. Astrid gave a smile as she and Frida began walking away from the table. Moving away, they were speaking with one another about some matter. With the ambient noise of the floor, adventurers talking loudly to one another, it wasn't possible for Claire to overhear what Astrid and Frida were talking about. Pushing away her tray, her belly full of the soup, Claire sighed. Great. To know that we have one more thing we need to worry about, on top of trying to figure out how to survive in this world. I mean, if we plan to never leave the underground city, then don't we only technically have one thing to worry about? Hannah teased as she leaned back in the seat, having an equally satisfied expression. What do you think Frida was talking about? Claire leaned back to give some room to her enlarged belly. She placed a hand on her stomach, wondering whether the feeling she felt was what having a baby felt like. Do you think it's something we need to watch out for? Hannah shook her head. It could be a number of things. Just think about how new the world beyond the portal is for everyone. Even with the safeguards that Star and Moon put into place, you know people are going to figure out ways to take advantage of the situation. She had a sneer on her lips, thinking about the predictable manner that people could act when it relates to their self-interest. After having such a serious conversation, there was a moment of just wanting to sit and enjoy their surroundings while the food finished digesting in their bellies. Claire thought about her body voraciously taking in the energy into their bodies, which was already desperate for food due to them being so occupied with their task to create a throwing dagger. Though I wish we could just be lazy and sit here, I feel like we need to get back to work. Hannah complained, though her body language wasn't matching with her words. Claire sighed and grudgingly got up, out of the seat. Picking up the tray, she said, "The faster we get back to work, the more we can have good food like this." Hannah followed Claire's movements reluctantly. You'll feel better when you're back in our workshop making another throwing dagger. Claire attempted to cheer up her friend. The two of them walked towards a receptacle, which would take their trays to where it would get cleaned and return to the various shops. Sliding the tray into the slot, it sat there before being taken away into the darkness. It was as if it were a monster that was continually hungry for food, with adventurers feeding it trays, bowls, plates, and utensils into it. Making their way towards the stairs, they made their way down to the main level where the workshops were also located. Compared to when they left the simulation, and made their way to get food, the number of adventurers was fewer. It made the experience of taking the stairs not as cramped.